Mihlambye sinkama nabantu.
It's Wisdom Tuesday. So let's talk about things that require mental muscle. The muscle of the brain. That's cool, man. Now today, I want us to go into that aspect of black text and drawing boundaries. You are a young person trying to make it out there, got a decent job, but month end, awunamali, you don't have anything left because you're taking care of this, taking that. Literally, we ATM yasekhaya. And somewhere in your brain, there's this self-preservation thing that comes as no, but this is not fair. I worked so hard and long to get where I am without anyone's intervention. But now, I'm the Reserve Bank. There's feelings, there's conflict. To some of you, it goes so far as introducing suicidal thoughts because you literally can't breathe. You can't enjoy your money. Every second week, mom is always on the phone. Tulsile. Awusendela mu 2000 lapha. Sishoda ngalokho. Every second week, bashoda something yet. You send grocery money every month and consistently. Yabathumelela 4,000 ubathenga icross and all the things they need, but somewhere there's more money needed. Or your nephews, abanazi icathu, your sister's children, your brother's children, even your brothers and your sisters, they're not working. Now, Tulsile has to carry those people. You call that black tax. It's so unfortunate. Now, it works quite bad, and you know I understand why people call it black tax, because I mean it seems like the path of the black child needs to go back, therefore it can move forward, whereas with every other race you get out and you move forward. There's no responsibility back there. You don't have to take steps back. Once you have made it into a place of self-sufficiency, you are expected to go on and be self-sufficient. Build your own home, raise your own kids. This is the expectation from the other people that they have with their kids, but in the black community, you literally have to regress and go and correct the mistakes that your fathers and your mothers made. Ambakanga ekaya, you have to pay to build them a new house, buy your mommy a car, buy your daddy a car, all these things that they couldn't afford to do, and now you feel like, oh, I owe it to myself, for my family to do better. This is a situation that you are in, and this is a situation you call black tax, and it's heavy. It's very heavy. It's a very heavy burden. it's such a shame, a very shameless thing, actually, that as kids, you have to go back and take care of your parents when it's supposed to be the other way around. You are supposed to leave your home with a blessing from your parents, with an inheritance from a parent that will propel you to go and take care of your own house. But lo and behold, you have to go back. And this is one of the reasons why most of you can't even get into a marriage relationship. Because you are tethered and you are attached to your home. Cousin village, cousin cousin and at the end of the day, now you have children that are not even yours. We listen to all these things. We see a lot of these things in the black community because we live inside the black community. Now, it's very sad because at the same time, we are taught that we should be kind to abazali because apparently there's a blessing there. But seemingly, abazali are not taught to be kind to their children on the same level. If you are kind to your kids as a parent, mase bephumelela abantwana badedele bakhulule bahambe mayokwakha imizi iqhubeke lento enithi i-legacy. Let them go and build a legacy. They must not be chained. Now they must come back and repay, because this thing of our black families is that there's this sense of you need to repay us for raising you and paying your way to school fees. And the worst thing about it is some of these parents are not even involved in any of those things. They don't pay your tuition fees, they didn't care what was pilling on NSFAS and boyfriends and girlfriends throughout university, making ends meet. They didn't know the struggle that it took. But you understood, at home we don't have much. Yet, there's still this expectation that you need to pay it back. There's no paying it forward in the black culture. There's paying it back. Everybody's waiting. Somebody owes me. This is a situation of your families. And it eats you up inside because you always feel like, why are these people feeling so entitled? There's an entitlement that is there. No. Tulsile owes us. We are her family. How can she say no? And we legitimize this thing by having sayings like, charity starts at home. Sure, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But you are having mental issues because you are struggling. You are carrying your family members on your back. You were carrying poverty, now you have to carry your family members. And the thing about it is, it seems like most cases, there's just no end in sight. You keep funneling your blood, sweat and tears for people who are not seemingly trying to get out of that rut. You are sustaining and maintaining a lifestyle. That's all you are doing. You're not pulling anyone out of there. So it is frustrating to you. When we're having real talk. This is what it is. It's very toxic. And it's causing us as a race, really, if you are being honest, we can't move forward and dominate in any situation because we still have to go back home. As was, a lot of people have potential to become great things, but they can't get there yet. No, but they still need to build a double-story house for their family. 5 years. I saw a friend of mine, he spent years building his mother a home. And, it's very noble. We like that kind of thing. Yeah, sure, no problem. I don't have a problem against it either. But this man had a wife and a car and a child. He had to stay in the flats. A very toxic environment for children, but he had to live there until he finished building this grand idea to thank his parents, which is noble, of course. And there's the premise, if you do these things for your parents, you will get blessings. Okay, sure, maybe not. I don't know, because I don't see us elevating collectively. It's just a bunch of individuals who are seemingly having a great time, and a semblance of success there and there. But as a collective, are we rising, black folks? Are we getting into a position where we can be self-sustaining? Can we still take care of ourselves? I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I look at things and I'm saying to myself, everything that we go through should reflect on the nation. As a nation, are we really getting somewhere with this blanket attacks? Is it assisting us collectively? Yeah, but that's okay. I guess I'm just laying out how people will normally feel regarding this thing. And then there's the opposite of it, where we say, no man, it's not black tax. It is a good thing to take care of your own before you move forward. It is a good thing to start at home with your charity. It's a good thing. But I have a question, Uguti. Do those same people who go back and take care of the home realize that it's also going back and taking care of the home to pick out in your community a complete stranger who you're not related to but who has potential and sponsor them? Wouldn't be much more impactful to go back and say, you know what, I went to Buchabelo Primary and the situations are dire. I struggled. You go there, you're like, okay, who are your top students here? Can I adopt one? You go to another school, say, who's the top student here? Can I adopt them? Would it not be interesting? The outcome that would come out of that. I mean, we could build an army of people who are going to be elevating our community. If a stranger came out to you at the time when you were struggling, getting those grades, if somebody came in and says, okay, I see you, you have potential, let me take care of this and this and this for you when I humble food. What kind of mindset would it bring to that kid? Because this is what other people are doing. They don't start taking care of their community at a later phase. Lama bursaries and varsity, of course, you're only going to get access to that later because they're not. But white kids who are coming from white communities don't struggle with these kind of problems because someone is always like, oh, okay. They have someone to go to help them. Some white people are really interested in what goes on in their community. They say, there's a school in this and we used to go there, we studied there, it was such a Oh, how is it doing? They get involved. Can't we come in and assist to maintain the school? No, black people don't do that. Black people will leave schools like dilapidating and complain about the government. Oh, ANC government, look at our schools. They go there, spend money in white neighborhoods, come back. Ooh, look at our schools. Then they take their kids to white people's schools. They don't realize that's how the schooling system works for white folks. Rich white folks go back to where they used to study and say, oh, how can I help? And then they'll tell them, no, we need this, we need this, we need this. How much? I'll pay you 20 million a year. It's good for their taxes, of course, but the mindset behind it is, I need to go uplift the kids. They are very focused on that part. Something that, as black people, we don't really think about. Black tax. This is where we could be using black tax, because it's a good thing. It will help us build a nation to go back and pay back. Maybe for 2 or 3 generations. I hope maybe it will take 3 generations or more to get to a point where we're self-sustaining. Let's pay back. Those of you who have the means, go find some poor person, in some school, a brilliant kid who can't afford a uniform, who can't afford food, and adopt them. As about at the high school, and make it easy for them to access these funding systems if you can't afford to do that. I'm saying this because even in my school in our neighborhoods, there's not much in terms of school fees that you have to pay and all those things. Most of those kids just necessarily need uniforms and food on the table so they can focus. I have so many brilliant kids, but they don't have someone who comes down and just takes them by the hand. This is why most of these kids end up in strange behaviors. I don't know. Maybe I'm too visionary for this kind of thing, but we talk about it because I think it's very interesting. I think it's something that needs to be done. So I'm talking about it. And if anyone wants to copy and paste it, sure, go ahead, because definitely I'm going to do it. I might not do it today, but it's something I'm working on. We need to do this. This is very important. Somebody needs to go hold the kids by the hand and help them cross the street called life, because their parents are not doing that. No. So that's the black tax. Even at home, you can't be complaining but do you sit down with them and say, listen, ithini plan yenu ngempela? Thabani, are you planning to get somewhere with your life? What do you really need to get somewhere? What are you following? Or you just complaining there? These people just, they're draining me. Hey, I want to crying about the situations back at home and how you have to struggle now because I want them out. Do you just make a fuss about it, or do you go home and have an honest talk with people and say, listen, you guys are draining me with 65,000 every month. What are you doing? When am I going to get things done? So we can see exactly what needs to happen here. Because in 5 years' time, I need to go off and start my own family. Do you do that, or you just complain? Now we're going into the thing of boundaries. You need to set boundaries. Just because you're a black child and you're well off doesn't mean it's a free for all. I don't care what people tell you. I don't care. I really don't. But it's good and everything. I don't care. But you have to have boundaries. Whether you like it or not, you're just going to have to have boundaries. This is how you're going to be a successful person who's going to be healthy mentally. You draw boundaries. Otherwise, you're going to lose your mind. Because what happens is, in our families, people take things for granted. This is just how it is. Because you're a family member, they'll just keep taking, knowing very well they don't need to pay anything back. And then you'll be crying, spend money. I spent so much money but I wasn't sure so yes, of course they're going to do that. They're a family. It's for granted. They don't owe you. So now you need to draw the lines about how much you're willing to commit. If you are earning 5,000 per month, you should draw the line how much you're going to commit to your family members, how much you're sending back home, and stick to that so that you can build your own thing. But the next thing that's going to happen is you're going to end up in a pile of debt because you can't really save money. Because it's shameful. Most of you can't save money. You really can't. You are bad at saving money. You are working, but you can't save money for shit. Excuse my language. You can't. Muntu got 5,000 telling you that they can't save money because they have too many responsibilities means this person is not drawing boundaries. You need to draw boundaries around your family, around your expenditures, around your friends. Real talk now. We're just going to talk it low income because I don't want to talk about people who own a lot of money because they're even worse. They can't save money for anything. But let's talk at the 5,000 rand, minimum wage people. What is making you unable to save? Not even 200 rand. What's saving 200 rand? Put in the savings account. Thinking, savings account between 32 day and the different interest rates. Because even when someone who hold 100,000 got a portfolio, Allen Gray or anything like that. Busy changing my PM every year is buying a new PM. Boundaries. But again, if you don't know what you are trying to do with your life, obviously it's going to be difficult to do this. But if you're trying to get somewhere, boundaries are going to help you get there. Set boundaries. Don't argue with people. People must know, okay, we are only going to get this much from this person. It's okay. You are doing them a favor. They don't owe you, you don't owe them. But because you want to be a good person who takes care of their family, do it, but be very intelligent about it. Boundaries. Otherwise, you're not going to get anywhere with your life and your own plan. It becomes too much because andifuna ukudila nezinto like normal people. Nifuna ukuncitheza into engekho la. Nencitheza. As if that's going to get us anywhere. Angisho ukuthi ilwane abantu basinangeni, but they need to adjust. As much as you need to adjust your own paycheck to accommodate them, they need to adjust to accommodate you and how much you are able to give them. Real talk. Real talk. Faka ama-boundaries. Masubona ukuthi umuntu uyasebenza le that you've been sending money to. Oh, so uyasebenza. Oh, okay, sure. Withdraw your money. They must also learn to stand on their own feet. awukwazi ukuthi umuntu esesebenza uyakhalela la uthi manje kushoda impuphu manage your money. Take this money now and go invest it in another kid in the family, because our families are never ending. There's no reason to feel bad. Usibongile usasebenza akadingi ukuthola i-allowance from you. There's no reason to feel bad. Amufake allowance komunye cousin. Nako lokhu nje ukuthi nizenza lezi zinto because of your hearts. Ninabantu enibathandayo nemakhetha, so now you can't even stop yourself from doing stupid things because hayi umkhonzile usibongile. He's your favorite cousin. No. It should never work like that. You need to look at your own family and evaluate the skill set and the potential of all those kids there. If ukhona second cousin ombonayo ngale uthi lo mangamphusha uzokhuphuka, phushe. Indaba ukuthi anzwani uba wakho wakabafuni labo bana no family member. If ungamphusha uzophela nalo mona lo khona la, because uzokwazi uku-afforda azokondla umndeni ngale baye kuloku bebanga umsindo. And then you will also start feeling less like you are a target of hate because you've made it and you're the only one. Or unless, of course, you like to be the only one who made it, because there's another thing there. Some of you are very, what's the word? To self-worship. Narcissist, yes. You're very narcissist, some of you. You just want to be the only ones, and then you can complain. I know. I bangizonda ngoba vele mina phela unomsebenzi like hayi mina phela usebenza eGoli, who's got this, who's got that. So nje they hate our family because we're doing well. Or cousin, or dadewabo kamaka samkhulumisa uma because yeah, no, we are doing well as a kids. No. To break that thing. Shona lapha kula cousin. How is the school? Oh, you're doing first year. How's it going? Oh no, I'm struggling. Okay. So file 2,000 every month until you make it through. If you can get more, no. So file 3. Uzokwazi uthenga cross. Ukhuleke and study. When afunda lapha. Oh, how much school fees akho kanje? Okay, how much per year? Okay. Sendele your fee statement and details. Khokhela ma school fees. Ahamba uyofunda. Qede abuye azokondla la kubo. Phela umsindo. Ukuthi hayi, these ones are not making it, those ones are not making it, because your parents are very toxic. They like to do that thing of, no, my children are doing better than yours. Even within the home, their own kids, no, why? Uthemba, yambona Themba uthi use a special case in this house. Uyena kuphela uthandwayo. Ngoba into enothemba phakathi nje hayi iyazwakala. Ayithi usebenza kaSasol uThemba. Manje sekufanele kuzweke laba bonke laba abanye. Ayizwakala into yabo. Hayi. No, akasebenzi lo. Ngeke sizwe naye. You know, that's your parents. Instead of saying to Themba, Themba, really, let's find some way to help him out. No, your parents, they've been more interested in, wow, hey, sidawa sakithi madoda. Wena ngane nje indaba yakhe ngiyibona. Uhlula uThemba beyingane. You see, sowing toxicity. So drawing boundaries will help us deal with those things. You need to draw boundaries. You need to do an assessment of your home, your family, see who's got potential and target them, so that sizokwazi ukuphuma kwi-poverty. Asiphumeni kwi-poverty, and we can't do it if we're still coddling each other, lying to each other, and doing favoritism, and perpetuating divisions angenasidingo. phela silalela abantu bekhuluma ukuthi hayi bona bayazonda ngoba they're doing better, abanomona. No, stop that. No, bayangithakatha baphehla amanzi amnyama ngoba we've made it. No. Stop that nonsense. When you just want to be the only one who's successful, and it makes you feel good about yourself at night. So you're constantly dreaming about abantu abakuthathayo because you feel like, as in, I've made it, and these people, they can hate me. Ego yakho is being stroked by knowing you're the only one who's doing better. Why must you be the only one doing better? What about the other people in the family? Kanti njani? So go back home. Have a real honest talk with your family members. Tell them this thing. You people are draining me with 5,000 every month. I can't have 200 rand to even save. Because of you. It's in a progress report. How far are you? Let's see. How far are you going? Because I'm getting something high. What are you doing with my money? Let's see. I need to come my receipt. Black text and drawing boundaries. We don't need to be stupid about our conduct as a race. Of course, it's all good and well to do things because family this, family that, sure, but realism is also going to help us be realistic. You must have an ideal that you're trying to achieve. If you're sewing it back to the home, you're calling it black test or whatever, I answer something. Must not be able to That's my view. I don't really care how you feel about it, but the bottom line is, if you want to progress in life, you need to have boundaries on who you give your money to, because you people work hard to get those salaries. And you are out here feeling suicidal, busy learning, sending a text about how bad you're feeling about this and this and that. But you are grown ups and you can't draw up boundaries for yourself. You can't tell people where to stop. I was reading something about Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett was saying that the difference between him and other millionaires, the top 1% and the other millionaires, is that with the billionaires you learn no. I kid you not, I say no. I learned how to say no. Sazi usho ke ebillionaire ngempela nje cha. Mina ukhiya wami, imfihlo yami ukuthi ngafunda ukuthi cha. Mithaba. Ngifisela impumelelo kuzo zonke izinto enzenzayo ngathi ongumdali engaba nani aniqhwebele endaweni la acashe ngakhona niphume kunalezi zinto enifake kuzona nemndeni yenu. Impumelelo nje yakhele kimi. Sanibongela abantwana.
Mihlambi yezinkama